right, finally, some promising news for freelance workers. President Cyril Ramaphosa says he will engage with the Labour Minister to come up with provisions for freelance workers. This comes after cries from freelancers that they have been excluded from the COVID-19 relief measures by government. Now, joining us now is Jack Devnarain. He's also very much front and center in the entertainment industry. Now, Jack, thank you so much for your time. You've been engaging with government on all matters pertaining to the entertainment industry. Do you have confidence that the President will honour his word to look into this matter currently on the table? Last month, we know that he had declined to sign into law two very important bills that pertain to your industry.
Yes, I think the onus rests with freelancers and the industry to make sure that the matter remains on his priority list. So it means we must continue to lobby government. We must continue to connect with the Department of Employment and Labour, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. We have to make sure that it's on top of the pile, because if it's not there, then freelancers will again be consigned to that part of the labour market that isn't really protected. It was a very positive sign for me today to hear that the President, in his address, mentioned very clearly that freelancers are not protected under labour laws, and that is a huge step forward, because I think for a long time there have been people who've been arguing whether or not freelancers are protected under labour laws. And with the advent of COVID-19 and the impact of the virus on our industries, we could see that there was very little by way of relief that was coming through from government, simply because there was no instrument in order to make that relief available to freelancers. So we've certainly proved that point to the President. We've certainly made it very clear that we have fallen outside of the scope of protective labour laws, and in fact the President mentioned it himself by saying freelancers have fallen betwixt and between. And I thought that was well put, and I can see that he has grasped the dilemma very clearly.
Now, we know that SANEF had made some provisions to freelancers in the media space specifically. When we say freelancers, what exactly are we talking about? Talk us through the value chain and what this entails.
When we talk specifically about the production industry, film, television, live theatre, live events, we are talking about people who are not employed. These are people who go from job to job, and they earn and they pay tax whenever they are contracted to provide their service or their labour. And you'll find that probably about 90–95% almost of the entertainment industry. Let's also bear in mind that performers are not the only freelancers out there. You also have people like estate agents who are freelancers. You've got people who are television presenters and radio presenters and stand-up comedians, and all these people broadly are considered to be freelancers. Electricians, plumbers and all of that, they go from job to job. So it's important to bear in mind how wide the scope actually is and the kind of labour protection that is needed, because without labour protection, we find that the potential for exploitation and abuse leads to the kind of injustices that in this modern age we simply cannot put up with. We have to be heard. We have to make ourselves heard on the injustice that we face. And of course we will be able to lobby for relief as long as we present our case to government in a way that demonstrates that this is such a huge part of the labour market. You can't possibly sustain your economy if we are not taking care of these people.
Now, going back to my first question, last month President Ramaphosa declined to sign into law two bills that seek to regulate the entertainment industry and provide the protection of performers and writers. What does this mean for the industry at large, that those two bills specifically have still not been signed?
It has a tremendous impact on and a decidedly negative impact on freelance performers. Importantly, we have to look at what the Performers Protection Amendment Bill and the Copyright Amendment Bill seek to do for actors. And I'll speak here specifically about freelance actors because, I will do so in my capacity as chairman the South African Guild of Actors. Here it means that actors would have been able to claim a right to earn royalties as a residual income from all the work that they have performed in film and television that is now being licensed and shown and downloaded around the world. And all those rights were contained in those bills. And it's not just the right to earn royalties, it's also the right to create a collective management organization in the same way that you have organizations that collect royalties for musicians. We would be creating the first royalty collecting organization for actors. And that's what the bills allowed for. So when the president decided that, in his view, it didn't meet constitutional requirements and that he sent it back to the National Assembly, it meant we have lost again the impetus to bring back the rights of actors to make a living and to earn from the income that we have earned through the exploitation of our work. So it literally sets back our efforts by 53 years. We are fighting a piece of legislation that originates from 1967 in the heart of the apartheid economy, and unless we get the president's endorsement to overturn that legislation, you will find that freelance actors will always be playing catch